All right, let's try to put this all together here. And we're going to take our regular expression match information and we're going to try to find the actual text in the paragraph. And we're going to use the doc.Find method, which has given us problems with endless loops, but we're going to restrict it to the paragraph we're currently working on, and that solves that problem. The other thing that this solves is we have the ability now to work in these paragraphs in any order we want, and we can leave out specific paragraphs, we can skip paragraphs that don't match, and this will make things a little bit more efficient. So what we've done here on line 63 is we've added a utility function to get the find params for our doc.Find command. Now if you've used this, you know what this is. We tell it we want it to find text, we tell it we're looking for a string, and then we pass in the string that we want to find. So let's go up here to our process paragraph function. Now we made some changes here, we pared this down, and let's show you what we're going to do here. We're going to create a text location starting at where our match begins. So let's do that first. We're going to say text loc equals new text loc, and of course we have the paragraph object, and then our offset is going to be the match object's begin offset. All right, so that gets us the text location at the beginning of each match. Now it may be a little bit to the left if we have markers or we have some kind of anchor in there, but it's going to be pretty close, and it's never going to be to the right, so we don't have to worry about the find command missing it. Now what we have to do is we have to set our cursor where that text is. So we're going to say doc text selection equals, and a text selection is a text range, so we're going to say new text range, and a text range consists of two text locations. So essentially what we're doing is, instead of highlighting the text, we're putting our cursor right at the beginning of the first of each match. And again, we might be a little bit to the left, but we'll never be to the right of it, so we won't miss it. So now what we can do is we can get a set of find params. So we can do our find, and we're going to call that function get find params, and all we need to do is pass in the text we're trying to match for this particular match. And realize this, that in some regular expressions, when you use wildcards and that type of thing, each match may actually be a different string of text. In this case, we're using the string table cleaner, so they're always going to be the same. But we've stored that in our match object, and we've stored it as a value property. So now that's going to tell us what to find, and now finally we can call doc.Find, and we need to pass in a text location, which we have, and we're going to start our find right at the beginning of each match, so we don't have to worry about finding them twice, we don't have to worry about getting into some kind of an endless loop. And then we use our find params property here, and we're going to return a text range that will return the text that was found. Text range equals, and then what we'll do is we'll highlight that text. So we'll say doc text selection. Actually, we don't even have to say that because that'll automatically highlight. So what we'll do is we'll create an alert, and we'll display the text that we found. And again, that's going to be match obj dot value, because that's what we were searching on. So let's see if that works. Let's go here, and we'll actually click at the end of this paragraph to make sure that it actually rewinds and goes where we want it to go. So there's one, there's our first one, there's our second one, there's our third one. All right, so that works. Now let's try it over here, and we should only get one. We get one. If we go down here, there's a couple of occurrences. Run. And so we're getting it. And now what you'll notice too is if we go in here and let's add a couple of anchored objects. So we'll add an anchored frame. We'll add a table. We'll add a table here. Insert table. And we'll see what highlights now, because remember we had that problem in one of the previous videos where we used the offsets that came back from the regular expression, and they're not always accurate because in the regular expression we're testing against raw text, and in here we're actually trying to find it in the paragraph, which may have anchors and other items. So let's check and see if this works. So we're going to click run, and you can see it gets the word table cleaner even though we have that anchor before it. It faithfully gets that. We go down here, we get that. So when we use doc.Find will find the text we're looking for, and it'll excuse those offsets that are slightly off in our regular expression. And there's the third one. So now we have some useful code. Now we can go in and do our find and replaces finally.